let's see how our audio sounds today. Sufficiently warmed up. Check, 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 check. Hey, Colby Queso's back. Hey, Colby. Elias is here. Hey, guys. Colby Queso's back. Hey, Colby. Elias is here. Hey, guys. Hello, superstar. Hi. I don't need to be licked right now. Hi. Yeah, you can have some attention. All right. 2, 4, 6, 8. That's not enough golf balls. Are we missing 2? Oh, there's one. And there's another one. They're always somewhere. Yes, warmed up is right. It was freezing out there, guys. All right, let's make sure this is aimed properly. It's where my demons hide. I wonder how many we can make in a row today, guys. Just got my old driver back. That's exciting. All right. Whoops. So we've got like a 5-foot putt here. All right, got to make the first one. Isn't that right, guys? What is your old driver, Elias? Okay, streaks can end at 1. I don't think this is fully set up properly. Welcome in, guys. We're just doing some putting. Now that it is fully dark outside. All right, still gonna aim more to the left. These putts do break to the right. I'm with you, Tony. Absolute clown. TS3, that's a good one. Oh, that is nice. That's very nice of your teacher to do that. It's 2 in a row. Nope, 3 in a row. Is that a Black-Eyed Susan tattoo you got? What's Black-Eyed Susan? It's a flower? Let's go. That's 5 in a row. I don't think it is, because if I don't know what it is, then I probably don't have it tattooed on me.
Remember the vine in Medford? With those flowers? Those are Black-Eyed Susans.
Got it. State flower of Maryland. Interesting. Which one are you looking at that you think is the Black-Eyed Susan tattoo? Boom. When will you do femboy roleplay? Well, whenever you pay up. The yellow flower you got. Yellow flower. Oh, this? Maybe? That's like a Sacred Heart tattoo. That has some... Or this one? That's just a random filler flower. There was a point when I was going, and I have an artist I work with locally, and I would just tell him, hey, grab your Sharpie, start drawing on my skin, whatever you want to draw. And I got a lot of tattoos that way, where I walked in that day not knowing what I was going to get, not having a plan, just saying, hey man, I think we should tattoo like right there. And my guy would go to work. It's where my demons hide. It's where my demons hide. You get either a brand new QA10 or a QA4D Special Dubai Tour. I'm probably going with the new one. I feel like if you go 3 generations, you're probably going to get up, grab some. Bro, you just let them pick your tattoos? You're crazy. Well, once you've had enough... Once you've been tattooed enough, it starts to be less, like this has to be something super meaningful. Also, I didn't update our extremely official tracker here, guys. Can't say anything. I got Tabori tattoos. I couldn't pick either. Yeah, it just gets hard to decide after a while, and you're like, I don't know. Just tattoo me there. Start filling it in. Nice. Hey, Carlos is here. It hurts getting poked with a stick. Yeah, sometimes. Elias is right. Once I did quit drinking, I had a lot of extra money. It's an underrated part of becoming healthier. I actually saw this pretty cool Steve-O clip where he was talking about addiction, and he said it's the only illness where you can become better than you were before, right? If you have another kind of illness, you can only get as healthy as you were when you started. But if you're an addict and you beat addiction, you can actually become healthier than you were before. That's a pretty cool perspective, and certainly a guy who knows about addiction and has been very open and public about his battle. And oh, well, we've hit the other ball that was in the way. So that's going to be a re-putt. I think it would have gone in if I'm being honest. Given I am the official rules official. Boom, that's 20 in a row, guys. Good for you. Alcohol's horrible for you. I should know. I like to say I'm a retired professional. I was very good at drinking for a while. Fred says, I've been watching streams for a while. Want to say I love the positivity you display. Makes me smile every day. Thanks so much, Fred. I appreciate you saying that, bro. That is what I'm trying to do here. I don't golf, but your channel's cool, so I'll sub. Very awesome, Tony. I appreciate you doing that. And I always say, even if golf isn't your thing, everybody knows somebody, if they haven't experienced it personally, but knows somebody who has dealt with mental health struggles or addiction and recovery. So if you like supporting that kind of work and honest conversations about these topics, then you can subscribe for that reason. It doesn't have to be for the golf necessarily. I also realized you guys can barely see me. I should fix the camera in a second there. Looking at Wilson's staff model blades, but I should be getting fit. I do think getting fit is the way to go, guys. Just get the data, have the confidence to know that the clubs you're investing in are fit for you. They're going to work. I'm thinking about going away from blades whenever I have the chance. Just would be nice to have a little extra forgiveness around the edges, but maybe something like a T100 iron, something that still has a nice, clean, compact look to it, but you know what we're going to do? We're going to go... Hey, Bob is back. I do remember that name, Bob. Bob Witchman. My irons are from the 90s. I still like them. Well, that's all that really matters, right? Maybe we'll go just slightly like this. So boring not golfing because of the snow. I hear you, Bob. We actually were on the stream maybe 90 minutes ago outside in the snow. I've got a tent over top of my outdoor hitting setup. Oh, just barely snuck that one in. Also, we didn't update the tracker again, guys. Someone's got to keep me honest. Does anybody want to keep tracking the chat? We've had people do that before. Should never stop you. If somebody wants to count in the chat, it would go, 31, and then if I make this one, you'd say 32, 33. But I don't mind doing it also. We have had people volunteer and do that, though, in the past. Boom, 32. $33. 34. Oh, JRT's got it covered. There we go, JRT. That's my man right there. Woo! Good catch by the hole on that one. That was maybe not our best putt. Much better. Golf is a warm weather game, that's for sure. It's definitely best enjoyed in warm weather. I have played some fun rounds in the cold, in the rain, in maybe less than ideal conditions, but yeah, day to day, I agree with you, Sycamore. I'd much rather much rather play in the warm, especially like me. You know, if you have joint issues, back issues, the warm weather just makes your body feel much nicer. Okay, a little pull on that one, but that's 40 consecutive putts in a row. It's where my demons hide. Thanks, Bob. Appreciate you. Thanks for being here. I shoot in the 70s. Any colder than that, and I don't play. Everybody has their own tolerances, and boom. That was a really good one. Right down the center. Practicing listening for it to go in. Just keeping everything nice and stable and still. Boom. Booyah. JRT's got to get back to work. Thanks for being here, bro. Oh, Rain, that would definitely keep you inside. Yep. Hope you're taking care of yourself as best you can. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. We've missed one. That's a real shame. It's a real shame. Gosh. All right, we start back at 0. That's what that means. Streak 0. Although I don't imagine you guys can really see that from up there. What about this? Oh, that's better. Sycamore, you're absolutely right. That is the hardest part of these challenges. It's not the act of hitting the putt or rolling it in the hole. It's maintaining that concentration and just making sure you hit a good putt every single time. But when you do get in a nice rhythm, boom. The all-time streak on the channel is 333 putts, guys. So we're going to have a lot of work to do to get there. Blake says, I have a golf net for Christmas. Very cool. that'll be exciting to get out and set that up. Start doing some at-home practicing with the net. Boom. Adjust your line. It's leaking to the right. Seems right. It does seem like it wants to wander that way just because of the mat here. On occasion. But it also is it's gonna turn that way slightly to the right when it gets up there. Blake says, I can't wait for Christmas. I know, who doesn't like Christmas? All right. That's 10. Should I get a lab? If you want to. I've really enjoyed having one. Now to the left. Hey, Zappelli. Going to practice so much. I know, it's awesome just having access to being able to hit balls, practice pretty much anytime you want. I think that's too far left. Let's try that. That feels pretty good. Okay. Seems like a good line. I have the same hat. Hey, Reed. Can I see your driver? Yeah, in Wisconsin. Exactly right, Reed. Mammoth Dunes. One of my favorite logos. The Mammoth. Very, very cool. My driver is a QI10 Max. I actually don't have it up here with me. Otherwise, I would be happy to show you. There it is. We did make the first 10, right? Sycamore says, I don't like Christmas. That's okay. The holidays can be hard. Also, for certain people, so it's a good reminder. I mean, we should be kind all of the time, but especially this time of year, just an extra little bit of patience, a little extra smile for strangers. Because you never know what people are going through. Course was nice. Blake says I have a Dunlop. Very cool. I haven't seen a Dunlop driver around in a while. Boom. Banging them home now, guys. Garrett's here. It was 20. Going to be 14 tonight. Played on the TrackMan. Great day with my brother and friends. Amazing, Garrett. I got to find a time to do some simulator golf. Get it back on TrackMan, get some data. See how the swing's performing. Boom. Sladger golf irons, cool. Love the lab, got the same one. How do you like it? I love it, Oakme, or OAKUCME03. Yeah, I have the DF3, really, really big fan of it. It has fundamentally changed my experience on the greens. The combination of this putter and finally learning how to start the ball on my intended line with this indoor setup. And I combo this mat with the Pels Tutor here. Pretty simple gate setup. You could also get one like this. Just practice rolling your golf ball through the gate, learning how to start the ball where your putter's aimed. But yes, the combination of that work and the lab putter, it has really revolutionized my experience on the greens. It's just fun to feel like you can make, or at least have a chance to make any putt inside of 10 or 15 feet. Every golf in Manitoba, I never have. Watching from Edinburgh, very cool. I was just there a couple of years ago. Love Scotland. We spent a bunch of time up in Isle of Skye as well. Beautiful, beautiful part of the world. Found I need to swing more to the right. My path was -4. Oh, wow. That is further to the left than you would want it. I don't usually have too much of a problem, especially with my irons. I'm pretty close to zeroed out. At least the last time I was on TrackMan it was. Let's go. I never have golfed in Manitoba. I've played in Nova Scotia, but that is the only golf in Canada that I've played at Cabot Cape Breton. Stop paying attention again for half a second, and boom, you miss a putt. You're back to zero. Back to zero. Things you hate to see. You simply hate to see it. Quick question. What tip would you give a beginner in golf? I'd say work on your mid and short game. You should come to Manitoba. I would love to come to Manitoba, Reed. Gosh, it's frustrating missing those putts. Yeah, I played Cabot Cape Breton, the Cliffs and the Links course there. I do think this just wants, like, for whatever reason, moving the ball up there does shift it slightly to the right. Minnesota Finest says, are you gay? I'm gay for golf. Reed said, bruh. You know he has a wife. Nice. Boom. I would love to play. There's so many good courses in Canada from what I've heard. There's some great golf in Alberta. The only countries outside of the US where I've played golf are Canada and Germany. Boom. I did get to walk around on the old course when we were there at St. Andrews. Because unbeknownst to me, as a silly American, I had no idea that they allow people to just walk around like a park on Sundays when the golf course isn't being used. So that was pretty cool. Just got to walk around, be like, this is the 18th green at St. Andrews. That's the road hole bunker. Super, super cool. Had it zeroed out for the most part. Love getting that feedback, totally. House tour. Maybe someday. Maybe someday. Boom, that could be a fun video. I am pretty excited, guys. I have a really solid content roadmap heading into 2026. We're going to be doing kind of a year-long challenge to see how much progress we can make both physically. So there's going to be, like 4 quarters, each kind of 90 days to spend on. The idea is mind, body, soul, and swing, because you got to work golf in there somehow. But so for, the body quarter, the content would be largely focused on, golf mobility and strength and speed training. So that'll be kind of January to March. Then we'll do a mind section that'll be kind of course management and strategy, as well as mindfulness and some peak performance stuff. I'm going to talk about books that I've read and things like that. Garrett says, prayers for Providence. Yeah, dude, that shit was 2 miles from my house, man. And it was pretty grim. It's pretty grim to have your wife ask you, like, do you think it's okay to let the dogs outside because there's a murderer on the loose? And seemingly nobody knows where they are. And I just refuse to accept that this is the best we can do. That the people we have in charge can't come up with any better ideas than, let's just hope it doesn't happen. That seems to be the official policy of pretty much everywhere in this country. Thoughts and prayers, right? We have thoughts and prayers, but we can do nothing else. And I've owned guns, guys. I've carried a gun. I've EDC'd. you know, for a long time. I don't anymore, but I did. So I'm not like some crazy liberal who's saying we should, you know, round up all the guns, because it's not a realistic solution. I actually need to keep track of these. But we can't just do nothing, guys. It seems like we just pretend everything's fine, and then there's a horrific mass shooting. We all go, oh my God, isn't that awful? And every single time it becomes a tiny bit more normal. You have, you know, a lesser reaction to it. It just can't become normal, guys. This is not normal. He's already Scratch. I'm talking about myself. It's mental health. Tell us your solution. I don't have comprehensive solutions. I don't think that's my job. My job is not to have all the solutions. My job is to say this is fucking bullshit, and we've had enough of it. How about this? I think you should be penalized if someone uses your gun and commits mass murder. If you are irresponsible with your firearm and you leave it unattended or unlocked, the same way that the driver in a bank heist gets charged as if he was in the bank shooting people. But if it's your gun and somebody steals your gun or takes your gun, there should be penalties. There's like, you know, things you can do rather than, again, just pretending everything's going to be fine. These are a mix of golf balls, guys. A bunch of Titleist, some Strixons, some TaylorMades, just all from the Shag bucket. We've got this whole bucket full of golf balls. We got some towels and stuff in here as well, but lots and lots of Shag balls in there. Are you rich? I am not rich, guys. This has been one of the toughest years of my life financially. I'm very grateful that I have a very hardworking wife, and she has a good career and has been keeping us afloat. But it's been really tough for me. Changing careers and trying to build this platform and make it work and invest in it. But sometimes you have to go through those struggles in order to appreciate coming out the other side of it. Job. I work in consulting, but it's been very slow for a variety of reasons. All right, guys, that's 20 in a row. Won't change how often they happen. What about the fact shooters are always on antidepressants and anxiety meds? I'm not sure we're going to see eye to eye on this topic, because anytime you start talking in, you know, vague generalities like that, instead of being specific, I don't think it's going to lead somewhere productive. But how about this? There are tens of millions of people who take antidepressants and anxiety medication who aren't shooting people. So if you said, well, 99.5 or 99.9% of all the people who take that medication don't turn into mass murderers, you'd probably say, well, it's not that. That seems like such a, you know, you've been fed this propaganda. How about this? Do people in other countries, like in Europe and other high-income countries, do they have lots of people taking antidepressants? Yes. Do they have lots and lots of mass shootings? No. So I really don't think you're making a good logical argument there. Gimme Golf is here. Joe is here. Joey said facts. Boom. And speaking from personal experience, antidepressants can be really helpful. They can be necessary, and again, speaking from personal experience, won't turn you into a mass shooter. What you will find is lots and lots and lots of data that suggests unilaterally the presence of more guns leads to more gun deaths. And when you look at the data, we're right next to Haiti. Haiti and the US have about the same number of gun deaths. I don't know. If you know anything about Haiti, we should be outperforming on that metric. The fact that we aren't is pretty horrifying. I love golf. Me too, bro. Have a great Christmas. Thanks for being here, Reed. Torian says, thanks for your channel. I'm officially back on antidepressants, and I kind of needed to hear that. Yeah, man. There is nothing wrong with doing what's best for you and your health. There's nothing to be ashamed about. There's nothing wrong with taking medication when you need it. Now, I do think there's a valid point to be made that there are other tools that can be helpful. And I, again, from my own experience, would tell you that exercise and moving your body and spending time outside can all be really, really good ways to also help your mental health. But they're tools in a broader strategy. And medication can certainly be one of those tools. Do you know for a fact that that's true? Can you show me, like, data or something to say all the shooters are on them? That's per capita data, so that's not relevant as far as population. This guy needs to go to Haiti. Yeah.
Also, if you took the number of mass shooters divided by the number of people who are on antidepressants, it would be insignificant.
Of course. Yeah, no, it's such a it's like a logical fallacy.
If you look at people who need mental health services who didn't have access to them from a mental health shooter, also would tell you the same thing.
Okay, so as soon as I find an example of a single shooter that wasn't on antidepressants, you're gonna, agree, right? You're gonna renege on your point. How can I stop rolling my wrists in my golf swings to make me hook my driver? Oh, well, there you go. So listen to your doctor always, guys. Hey, Princess Banale's here. So as far as rolling your wrist, right? If you're really starting to get that club face rotating too much, right? You can try to feel like your wrists are a little more locked in place, not going to turn over quite so much. You could try to feel as if you are, almost trying to keep that club face looking at you throughout the swing. It's going to look back at the ball this way and then back towards you this way, as opposed to kind of rolling and turning over that way. So it's going to feel different and weird, but just go slow. Also, if you're starting to hook it, you can just practice hitting some fades. Learn how to see the ball going the other direction. That's the fight fire with fire method that John Sherman and Practical Golf talk about so much. I just subbed. Amazing. Thank you so much for subscribing. Aim with the back of your left hand and let it guide through the ball. Great tip, Sycamore. If you guys are enjoying the stream, like Princess Banana, hit that subscribe button. Thanks, your channel has helped me so much over the past couple streams. I just subscribed. I'm glad to hear that, bro. Thank you so much for sharing that feedback with me. Boom. I also never updated our tracker here. Robert said hi. Hello, Robert. Welcome to the stream. It's where my demons hide. Boom. I know some people shy away from talking about politics and current events and things like that. I think it's important that we have these discussions and then people are willing to say how they feel about these things. It shouldn't be taboo to say, no, I don't. I think there are things we can do better. And we should be able to have, fact-based discussions and try to find solutions. And I mean, because that's how you actually get to people. You have to understand that the people who to have any success in changing things, you need to convince some amount of people who currently disagree with you. If you never talk to the people who disagree with you, you'll never change their mind. Is my opinion. Boom. Let's go. Jason's here. Torian says, great channel, stay awesome. Thanks so much, Torian. Jason said, bruh. Move your line back to the left. So then charging gun owners, which should happen. You don't blame psych meds. What would you do? Not American, by the way. Happy about that. Again, like I said, I think our job is to collectively say, we are tired of this. Figure it out. The same way it's not my job to understand how the sewer system works, but I still want to have one. I want to live in a society where you don't have to be afraid of being slaughtered in public by a maniac with a rifle. And lots of places across the globe have managed to say, we can deliver that. There are things that we put in place, and we can tell you there's a very, very low likelihood that you're going to be a victim of a mass shooting. This country is not one of them. Good try. Just don't go to large events. I mean, that seems like a pretty big compromise, don't you think? So that some guy far away who doesn't know anything about me can cling to his semi-automatic rifle, I have to stay inside? That seems like a bad trade. Hi. Hello, superstar. Hi. Hi. Yeah, that's a good girl. Not at all. I just don't like big crowds anyway. Well, yeah, I mean, so that's fine. I feel sorry for Charlie Kirk. I don't feel his killer should get the death penalty. I agree with that, your last point, because I don't believe that is a door that you can open. If you allow the state, the government, to kill citizens, whether they've been convicted of heinous crimes or otherwise, it's like either a light switch. You either allow the government to kill people or you don't, in any capacity, and I fall on the side of, I don't think we should let the government kill anybody. Also, the more you learn about capital punishment in America, you learn it is a terribly inaccurate, awful system. 1 in 10 people on death row are ultimately exonerated. Not meaning like we decided they don't need the death penalty, it means they didn't do it. That's crazy Russian roulette to be like, well, we just 10% of the time we're killing people that are innocent. That's insane. You might be right, YouTube. I do think we agree on that because the fact that, you know, there's twice as many guns as there are people in this country. So it seems unrealistic or infeasible to meaningfully deal with that. That might be the first thing we agree on. Let's go. Oh. Nice. Oh no, that was a terrible putt. I knew right off the face that I missed it. What streak are you maintaining? You've got 40 written on there, but you're not updating it. Oh, we update it every 10. But I just missed, so it's going to end there. So every 10, you know, it would go 40, 50, 60. But that streak ended at 48. Missed on number 49. Boom. Not Watermelon Musk. It's an interesting username. I can't tell if that means you're licking Elon's boots or if it's something else. Oh. So now we go back to 0. Streak of 0. Boom. Oh, we had missed one over there. I knew it didn't seem like there were enough golf balls. I get where you're coming from. But I fundamentally don't agree. I don't think the average person needs to know, you know, detailed analysis and policy solutions when the root thing that they're actually saying is, I don't want to be murdered in public. You don't force people to say, like, do you have an understanding of roadway infrastructure when you want to have safe roads? They're like, no, I just want to get murdered. I don't want to get hit by a car walking down the street. Not Watermelon Musk. I mean, there you go. We can know what proper change is. Taking a quick break from building rockets and cars. Definitely need more rockets. In my day-to-day life, I look around and I think I just don't, out of all the things I need, you know, it's not food and security and shelter, it's rockets. Boom. Oh. Okay, that's 9. Gosh, such a shame, because when you have that much money, you could really... Oh, we missed again. You could help so many people, and to choose not to... I just don't think history will be very kind to this group of people. These oligarchs that rule over us. Right? We've seen this before. When Marie Antoinette said, "Let them eat cake." I'm not sure when they were sharpening that blade in front of her, she didn't regret saying that. Let's go. Oh, forgot to update. We did make 10. Unlucky. What a silly message. I don't think it's silly at all. I think there's lots and lots of value that comes from allowing people from all over the world to come to our country and seek prosperity and have access to resources. Only European immigrants are okay. Well, now you've just told on yourself that it's just racism, right? You don't really care about what people can offer or what skills they might have. If I told you, like, hey, the guy who can cure cancer is here, but he's from Mexico, you'd be like, get him out of here. Everybody can still have cancer because of my racism. I think some of them do a lot of good for the people, the others not so much. I think there's a handful, yeah. You should go film North Korea instead. I wouldn't say it's a silly message. The ones that are legal and are making the attempts to become legal. Well, you're simply mistaken about that. I mean, there's lots and lots of data that says people who are undocumented pay taxes. They pay lots of taxes, billions and billions of dollars in taxes. So if you're going to keep making that point, you should know that it's wrong. It's factually incorrect. Love your ink. Thanks, bro. You're a great guy with a great message. I subbed. Amazing. Thanks so much. Fascism on the rise in the UK. It's on the rise everywhere. I believe there is a legal way of becoming a citizen of the USA. There are some. Oh my God. I also don't feel particularly equipped to tell people who are running for their lives that they have committed some great crime by trying to survive. Because you and I and every single person you know would do the exact same thing. And we get to sit and watch from a position of privilege and say, well, these people aren't doing it the right way or the way that I would do it. Do you think that people, if they have two choices in front of them, the vast majority of people try to do things the right way? They try to work hard and follow the rules. But you're telling me that somebody who has walked across the desert or, shipped themselves on a boat across the planet to try and come here, that person isn't doing it the right way? They're obviously making the best choice available to them. None of us who get to sit here and say those things can say those people, should have made a better choice. People make the best choice available to them, almost universally. No, you're simply wrong about that. I'm not responsible for any of that, because those are other human beings with free will who chose to do something awful. And you saying things like that makes it worse. So I think we've heard enough. I think we've heard enough from Mr. Racist. I'm the jinx in your putt. That's 3 times in a row. Yeah, it's gonna happen. You said not the ones that are not legal and don't pay taxes. That's literally what you said. Let me ask you guys this. If you've ever been to a border, a state border, a country border, when you get there and you look down on the ground, is there anything there? Or is it just like there's some dirt here and some dirt there and you just kind of walk across it? Because that's what it always looks like to me. It's just a made up line on a map somewhere. Oh, we've missed again. It's probably a sign. Gives me a lot of hope to know there's still intelligent, sentient beings out there. Well, I appreciate you saying that, Nafiz. It can be frustrating to try and have like a reasonable, fact-based discussion with people who are sometimes subtly and sometimes not so subtly just, expressing their racism, right? Like that guy who I just banned was saying only European immigrants are okay. That's bullshit, guys. That is unacceptable. I'm not going to tolerate it on my channel. You shouldn't tolerate it in your personal lives. Socially and culturally, we need to make it unacceptable for people to express so boldly their racist beliefs. Let's go. Sign, yeah, exactly. Can you send me a putter? I don't have any putters to send you. I've been to the India Pac China, which is heavily militarized. There's multiple layers of fencing across the border with military on either side. Just grass and fields under the fences, though. Hey, Nathan's here. 3 weeks under my belt. Amazing work, Nathan. Congrats, bro. Keep up the hard work. 3 weeks clean and sober. That's really something you should be proud of, my man. Just one day at a time, right? Yeah, my point was what you're saying about under the fences, right? The Australia border, on the other hand, just has water. There you go. Been tougher recently. It's going to happen, man. There's going to be ebbs and flows, especially in the beginning. I was on a call. There's a group that I've talked about before called Soba Golf on Instagram. They do really cool events and host a weekly meeting where people who are in recovery, whether from alcohol or drugs or whatever, just come, and it's pretty informal. You just get on a Zoom call. Somebody will share and talk. And anyway, somebody who I think they had 17 days of sobriety, and they were talking about this roller coaster they've been on, just up and down. And, some days are great. Some days are really hard. And some of us who were there, spoke to that point. I'm coming up on 5 years of sobriety now. And I remember just the vicious up and down. And I'll tell you that it does get easier, right? Those ups and downs get less high and less low. So it compresses this way, and they also get spread out more. It doesn't happen quite as often. I feel like I'm on a very even keel most of the time, and that's all thanks to my sobriety. But the way you get there is one day at a time. I couldn't just wake up and say, I'm going to do 5 years of not drinking all at once. I had to just do day 1, and I woke up on day 2, and I said, I'm going to do it again today. And I made that same decision every single moment that I woke up for the last 1,730-something days. Hi. Because that's how you get hard things done. You just put in the effort you can do consistently over a long period of time, and that's how you get where you want. Most part of what he's saying is there's not a line drawn and so on. He's right. People guarding it, so on. You could just walk over. Yep, exactly. Never been to a border? Might see something appealing. Yeah. Thanks, Trill. Absolutely. Appreciate you guys having such a engaged discussion and stream with me tonight. You know, we're not always going to agree. We're not going to agree about every topic, but I think being willing to engage and have discussions around things that people don't want to talk about, right? People don't want to talk about gun control or immigration or sobriety or mental health. But if we don't talk about these things, then nothing will ever change. And pretending that it's all going to be okay or that the problem doesn't exist, that's not how you accomplish any problem in your own life, right? Whether it's something as small as my car's low on gas. Maybe if I just keep driving, it'll be fine. Well, you know it won't. You have to put gas in the car. So why do we just pretend that everything will be fine in these other arenas? Even keel throughout life sounds great. I have huge peaks and valleys. It will straighten out, bro. You just got to stick with it. We may have broken the jinx. Are you a full-time golfer? I'm not a full-time golfer. I still sit at a desk and work for a living Monday to Friday, sometimes on the weekends, but that's the goal. That is what we're trying to build here, and golf is obviously a big part of that, and it's the platform and container that I use on the channel to talk about these things because golf is relatable and it's something that I'm passionate about, and I love trying to get better and practice and help other people, you know, get better at golf. So we've started doing some coaching, but primarily I want to use golf as a vehicle to talk about these topics that are important to me, like sobriety and mental health, because I know I've experienced the stigma that's associated with them, that feeling of, man, what will people think about me if I seek help? Or, you know, will my friends still think I'm cool if I tell them I've gone to therapy or that I started taking medication? Or will fun things still be fun if I stop drinking? And so having gone through these experiences and having a willingness to talk about them, because again, I believe it's important that these conversations will reduce the stigma. And if we reduce the stigma, more people will seek treatment. They'll have better outcomes. You know, you can make changes in your own life if you don't feel like you'll be judged for them. So that's really the mission that I feel like I'm on. When I started the channel in January of this year, I thought I was just, you know, recording myself playing golf and was going to make some funny videos. And what it has turned into now is something so much more powerful than that. And the feeling of satisfaction and joy that I get when people reach out to me, whether it's on these live streams or they email me and say, this is helping me. This is helping me make a change in my own life. It's a way where I can check in and have some accountability. Or, you know, you inspired me. I didn't think it was possible before, but I heard you talk about what it's like, and now I believe that I can do it. That is the whole point to me. So, thanks for listening to my speech. People get upset at everything. In fact, they aren't willing to see the other side. Agree with that. Do you have a sim? I do not have a sim currently. I do have a Rapsodo launch monitor that we use out in the net sometimes. Do you have set days you stream? I try to stream every day. All humans together could achieve a lot. Great t-shirt. Thank you so much, Nanya. I absolutely agree with you. It is insane to think about the resources that we spend on, you know, policing borders and killing each other and building bombs. And like, what if we put those resources towards delivering clean water and housing to everyone who needs it? Or curing cancer for the millions of people who are killed by that disease every year? The choices that we're making and the lack of political will we have to force those resources to be used on the things we as the, you know, collective population want them to be used on is so frustrating to me. It's so frustrating. It's not because we don't have enough money. It's not because we don't have smart people. It's because we simply don't want to. There are not enough people in charge who say, I actually want to solve these problems and deliver a better, you know, societal outcome for people. There's too much personal incentive involved. There's no term limits. There's lots of reasons, but I find it so frustrating knowing, like to Nunya's point, what could be possible, yet we choose not to do. I think we're on 10. Yeah. There we go. Do you need the subscription for the Rapsodo? I think it does have a subscription, guys. But I like that it is portable. It's pretty accurate. I can use it both at home in my net. I can use it at the driving range or on the golf course. Whoa. So anyway, guys, if any of that mission stuff resonates with you, hit that subscribe button. You can help us out trying to put this message in front of as many people as we can. Oh my gosh, we've done it again. All the topics you brought up are profitable endeavors. I know. It's very frustrating. All right, guys, thank you so much for checking out the stream today. We will be back trying to set another streak or beat our record of 333 putts on the channel. What is that small bag next to you? Oh, this one? This is just a Den Caddy. This has shag balls, like old golf balls that I don't use anymore. In there. But yeah, just a Den Caddy from TaylorMade. Guys, go check out the links in my bio if you're interested in any of either the Rapsodo or the net return. Jake, you're absolutely right. We did get a new lab putter several months ago. We've been using that with great effect. If you're interested in coaching, we're doing that now on Skillest for one-on-one golf coaching. You suck tonight, better luck next time. You're absolutely right, Sycamore. Not our best performance. But we'll see you guys next time. Appreciate all the support. Enjoy the rest of your evening.